want to complement one of the previous videos by adding a few more names to the guards that we do in armored combat. If you're looking for the extension to the 12 poster progression by adding the 6 armored guards, there are different videos on that. You can look them up on Duel TV, and I'll be able to give you the names of the guards, how to create them, and basically how to practice the 12 poster progression. For now, I'm just going to give you some 4 of the 6 guards, and how they tie into what we've been doing. What we are doing this month is they are basically the half-sorting guards that we look at. So we can start. There's 2 grips that you have in the sword. We've talked about them before, but I'll reiterate. You can have your thumbs pointed forward, holding it just like this, or you can have your thumbs in line, just like so. Starting with the thumbs forward, I can start in Posta Breve Serpentina, the narrow serpent, the narrow serpent guard. So from here, you can see it sideways. Backhand is locked on my hips. Front hand is around the mezza spada. You can use it to really control the center line, and you can have it. You can really think about it as the gioco stretto sort of guard, where I would be playing to control the point. I like to brace it against my hip. It creates a really nice, strong lever. You could have it in front of you and play it with a little bit more free form. It's not as stable, right? Having your thumbs in line gives you, again, some good control. It exposes your hand to thrust from below if you're wearing armor, but it gives you better downward and yielding capabilities. From here, again, thumbs forward, I can go into, just to give it a different variation, I'm going to transition up into the high serpent, Serpentina Altara, and you can see my sword now. And as I do so, I'm going to rotate my hand so that it is thumbs in line. You can try it with the thumbs forward, but it is a little bit more awkward. And you can really think about it as posta finestra. Protecting my head, I can look one side of the arm or the other, depending on where my opponent's sword is and depending on how much armor I have. And this guard is really useful for striking from below. So you can think about it as you've just defended up high, you withdraw the sword, and you strike powerfully up into whatever opening is available. You can think about it as I'm coming into someone's neck or coming underneath someone's groin protection, so they're trying to reach underneath their kind of skirted chainmail and trying to strike into their groin, or going into the armpit as well. I can use this to find a nice opening in the armpit. It's a nice transition to practice, coming up from Serpentina Altara to Breve Serpentina, and just going through the motion. Another good transition is coming from Breve Serpentina to Vera Croce, the true cross. So the action from here is, I'm really thinking about this guard as Donna Sinistra, Posta di Donna Sinistra, where I can strike a powerful reverso fendente that will cover any line in front of me. And that's really what it does, is once I have the sword withdrawn, every attack is going to be right in front of me. So I can close that line powerfully and step forward. Another useful transition to go from Breve Serpentina to Vera Croce. Breve Serpentina, Vera Croce. And I'm doing this from a rear-weighted guard. You can't quite see my weight right now, but I'm in a rear-weighted guard and striking forward. If I do it from the other side, transferring my weight forward to Breve Serpentina, and then I can step forward. As I withdraw, cover the line, step forward. I'll do it facing that side, cover the line, step forward. In fact, I just came up with an exercise. You can do this moving back and forth. Start in Vera Croce, cover the line, step forward. Pivot, I use my foot, I open it up so that I'm now facing back to my original direction. I am rear-weighted, cover the line, step forward. Pivot, cover the line, step forward. Pivot, cover the line, step forward. It's a nice way to integrate those 2 guards together in the transition between the 2. The last guard, the fourth one that we want to talk about, is Croce Bastarda, which is kind of somewhere in between Vera Croce and Breve Serpentina. It's basically right in front of your hips The neat thing about it is that it can go to either side. It can go to Breve Serpentina. You can yield into kind of a hanging guard, coming up into Serpentina Altara. And you can really think about this as, my thumbs are in line, I can go to one side, I can go to the other. And this is a nice way to practice this particular transition, which is going to be more useful when we start contextualizing it with partners. But I can, if I imagine pressure in the middle of the sword or in either one of the ends, I yield to the pressure and I strike down on my opponent. I come back to the middle, I yield to the pressure, lifting up, protecting my body, and then striking down. And I can think about this almost as, it's a weird kayaking motion where I am getting pushed to one side, I'm yielding, keeping myself safe, and then striking a fendente down with whatever business end I have. I yield, keeping myself safe, then I strike. And a tendency that I have here is, I'm keeping my head protected, imagining that I'm going underneath my sword the entire time, and then I can strike down. Yield underneath, strike. This will have a nice mechanical result of, instead of just kind of doing it down here where all your important bits are exposed, I'm trying to lift this and shield my exposed body, or my exposed armored body, to keep myself an advantage, and then I can strike down. Yield, protect, strike. And I'm doing this statically right now, just to get used to the motion from side to side. That's enough for now. If you have any questions, let me know.